Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Your fighters tonight coming in at $135. It's, what was your name again? James?
Who?
Which one were you?
I don't know.
Oh, I'll be the check forger.
Coming in at a buck.
The wanted in 38 states.
Oh, okay. The wanted in 38 states. It's
The wanted in 38 states.
the wanted in 38 states. It's the forger.
Hi. You're gonna put the cheering in afterwards?
No.
Oh, okay. And it's actually the forger, as in like I find stuff.
Fjords.
Forger.
Coming in next, your heel. You love to hate him. It's the gentleman caller.
Don't mind if I do!
It's a pun.
Some say I'm quite the cunning linguist.
No, they say you're a sex offender.
Yeah.
That as well.
So I have to record this at least 50 feet away from the school.
John is becoming a regular on the Funhaus podcast, and he's progressively wearing less and less clothes. Is there a reason?
I think it was an upgrade from last time.
All right.
Is
well,
it?
Yeah.
Surface area, I guess, yeah.
Wearing my goddamn glasses. I don't need these. And I'm your host, Adam, the announcer, Kovic.
Nice.
I'm not supposed to have a shtick. I'm an impartial party, but I'm going to lose my mind when these two go at it at this tonight's Slobberknocker as we watch the hit film about a dog, Russell Madness. We picked this movie because Black Panther came out this week, and we all said, we don't like cats, we like dogs. So we're doing a movie about a wrestling dog, and it's brought to you by Lisa Mattress. You can get $100 off if you use our code. We'll give you the special promo code at the end of the show. But first, let's talk about the movie Russell Madness. John, why'd you make me watch this?
As you're familiar, I have a long history with Air Bud and Air Bud related productions.
You begged me not to make you watch any more Air Bud movies, but
Is it true?
No.
He came
Maybe.
to my...
I mean, yes, and.
Very good.
Here's a treat. Good boy. Air Bud Entertainment has spun off into its own thing now.
Yeah, so they kind of burned out the Air Buds and Air Buddies.
No.
They just wrung that one dry. And so now Air Bud Entertainment is all animal stuff. Is definitely using the same animals because there's a monkey in this one who also has his own film called Monkey Up.
What about Spy Mate?
That's a chimp. He died.
Chimps aren't monkeys, different species.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry.
I actually didn't know that
Until when?
just now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they've got this movie. What's it called? Russell Madness. They've got Pup Star, which is like American Idol with dogs. They've got Monkey Up, which is about a commercial acting monkey who wants to become a feature film acting monkey.
Well, James and I always talk about this, but this is one of those beautiful movies where they came up with the title first.
Well, no.
What?
That's what pissed me off most about. Honestly, my only criticism of this film is the title.
Really? Why? What's wrong with it?
Because they clearly wanted to name it WrestleMania.
Right, but legally they could not.
But legally, they found out well after filming the movie, well after drawing up probably a bunch of marketing material that they could not.
I'm just saying from the creators of the Air Buddies franchise, at some point they said MVP, most valuable primate. We could do that.
Yeah.
Or spy primate. Spy mate.
Spy Mate.
Yeah.
Is it spy mate or is
It's Spy Mate, which sounds like primate.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so this one they're like, I'm almost positive they went WrestleMania, or WrestleMania, Jack Russell Terrier, Russell. We got it.
No, yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
I think they went WrestleMania. Let's Google some dogs.
Yeah.
And they were going through Jack Russell Terrier. It works.
Can
All
they
of
be
this-
trained?
I mean, honestly, all of this adds up if you watch the film itself, because it's clear that, like you said, they have like a farm full of these actor animals that they just slot into these movies. The dog that plays Russell is the name of the dog. Which makes me wonder what the other names of the dogs, because there's at the very beginning of the movie, there's other Jack Russell Terriers there.
Right.
One must be Jack.
Yeah.
And the other must be Terry, and then I don't know what the
T-Dog.
other names are. Yeah.
It's kind of weird to name your dog after what it is.
Yes.
So like I mean, sure, Benson's a mutt. You wouldn't name him Mutt.
No.
Or Sheba or whatever he is.
Yeah.
You got a dog recently.
I did, yes.
Yeah. And you lost it.
Very dramatic. He's
Did
such a
did
drama
you pick
queen.
him up and then he peed on you?
It was yes,
Yeah?
actually, it was a very romantic moment. That was when I knew it was the one. But yeah, my dog. I actually got this dog for this podcast.
Yeah, where is he?
I forgot to bring him in.
Okay. Now you're stuck with the dog.
As you know, it's what's owning
How
a
old
dog.
is this dog?
4.
Oh, that's a lot of years. That's like almost 10 years you got on that dog.
It's all right.
Well, speaking of age, let's talk about the story of Russell, the wrestling dog, and how he was a puppy, but no one wanted to adopt him because he pees on people whenever you pick him up in this fashion.
Well, he said he was shy. He wanted a family more than anything else, but he was too shy. And anytime anyone came up, and I'm pretty sure that first kid that picks him up in the movie is also the voice of the dog because it sounded the same. But
I don't know.
No?
Oh wait, no. Maybe actually.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't investigate because I don't care. But
I was thinking of the monkey, which is Will Sasso.
Is Will Sasso the
Will
voice
Sasso
of the monkey?
is the monkey.
Well,
We'll talk about the talking monkey soon.
I was
Because
gonna say,
I have some questions about how the universe of WrestleMania works. Madness. Sorry, I can't say
They
WrestleMania.
explain everything pretty well.
Kind of.
I think they do a pretty good job.
Didn't they pull away and
Yeah, they did a
explain?
whole origin
like-
story.
I may have went to the bathroom.
oh yeah.
At
I
that
watched
point.
every
I was
second
playing
of
with
this
my
movie.
new dog, so
I just
I missed a
wanna say
lot of this
myself.
movie.
Can I just say broadly that I genuinely like this movie?
Okay, that's fair.
I think, like, because I've seen the other Buddies movies, and
Yeah.
they're slow. They're
Yeah.
garbage, and they're slow. This movie is actually, like, it just keeps going. It held my attention.
It actually moves. I think we did go in with the intention of like, let's laugh at this bad movie. We're like, enough film exists that you can point at enough things and go, steal from that, cut from there,
Yeah.
CGI this thing. For some reason, let's shoot a lot of it on a green screen and the movie will be done. And you can get enough big name actors who are like, I don't care. No one's going to see this. It's for
Yeah.
children. Fred Willard will just say yes as long as you give him the $25,000.
I know for a fact that Fred Willard says yes to being an announcer in like any project as long
really?
as he can film it in like a day. And if you watch this, he did everything was just because he was in one chair. He didn't have to get out of his chair the whole movie. But I know someone who got Fred Willard for one of their things, and he was like, "I'll do it." And he, as long as it was just in one day, he'd come and he'd do it and just do his improv banter for the whole thing.
Interesting. Well, my birthday is coming up.
So we get Fred Willard for it.
the day, as long as
Yeah.
we can get him in and out.
Yeah.
So there are really two stories to this movie. There's Russell the dog, who's the unadoptable because he's shy and he pees on people, and then there's the Ferrero family, who inherit a wrestling ring in downtown LA. That they're
No, it was Portland.
no, I mean it's in downtown.
Oh,
I mean,
right, yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's in Canada, probably.
really.
If they want to film outside, they're not going to film in LA. They're going to film in Canada.
I mean, you're gonna fly Fred Willard up to Canada?
Well, they didn't
no,
need
they didn't need. He didn't go in. You kidding me? Fred Willard. They probably built that set in his backyard.
They also
anywhere.
they didn't need permits to film outside. They shot outside of the theater for about 30 seconds. They probably just rolled up in vans,
telling you, it's
got
gotta
what
be
they
Canada.
needed, and drove away.
I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure we did an Inside Gaming Award show at the venue that they had. They're like, I recognize that, and I think they tore it down.
Yeah.
So I think it was actually, this movie came out in 2014?
2014.
Not
Really?
bad.
That's pretty good.
It's not bad.
It holds up.
So
3 years.
so the Ferrero family, they inherit a wrestling ring, I guess, building.
Can we get into the logistics of the scheme?
Sure, yeah.
The premise of the movie?
It's a little weird
It
where
doesn't make any sense.
so the grandfather leaves the wrestling
He dies.
venue to his grandson.
With the exception.
That he says you can sell it if you can make this place profitable.
Yeah. Which
Which
doesn't
is-
make any sense.
kind of a
his
dick thing to
grandfather
do.
says, I'm going to give you this debt-ridden business. If you can make the business profitable, then I'll let you sell it. But that doesn't make any sense because if you have a profitable business, you're making money.
It's a funny thing
Yeah.
too because bless this family, the deranged father pulls up. He's like, "We live here now," and they're all like, the place is covered in dust. It's all dilapidated, and the kid's in bed like, "Good night, Dad." Like,
Yeah, everyone loves it.
yeah, they're all gonna die.
Yeah.
like it's insane how
It's haunted by
now.
ghost monkeys.
Yeah.
Oh, Ghost Monkey
They
does
don't
come.
believe the daughter. This movie though is built in all of the scenes are only to serve that one section of the film. Then they move on and they just go, don't worry about what's been said prior. Because like they'll walk into a scene and go, these are the rules of this movie. And then they'll go into the next one and they'll break all the rules and they'll say, these are the new rules of the movie. And it's pretty refreshing. It keeps you interested.
It just keeps it's I think you were telling me this a while ago that some guys, there's like a podcast where they broke down how to write a screenplay, and they're like, it's the easiest thing in the world. Like, you just dialogue comes last.
Just keep going.
Yeah,
They're like, just keep writing.
Yeah. So I imagine the way this worked was they're just like, how do they inherit it? I don't know. And they
it doesn't matter.
they flipped on what was on TV, like, is the guy left in the will?
Yeah.
And there's a part where the grandfather's there with his talking monkey, and he's like, and then our grandfather made us leave. He's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Kicked him out.
It's basically the scene begins, all right, how do we introduce a family that has to come to this place? Let's just say the will's here. They don't want to be here. They're just trying to turn it over to make a profit. Okay, that works for this scene. But then the next scene is, why does the family want to stay here? And it doesn't have anything to do with the fact that they find a seller almost immediately.
Right.
Like they find someone that they just sell it to without doing the profit stuff right away.
It's I mean, I get it. It's a kids movie.
Yeah,
There's also some stuff later that there's like there's some corruption in wrestling where they're like, you need to take a dive. It's like, I don't take a dive. It's like, they like boxing and wrestling.
That's my favorite moment of the whole movie is when the father, who is now grown to love the sport of wrestling,
Right.
gives a whole speech. I mean, it's a kids movie, so it's like 2 sentences, but like a speech about wrestlers win on merit and merit alone.
Yeah.
He's like wrestlers don't just choose who wins or lose. Like they basically described how wrestling doesn't work.
So as a kid, I remember being not heartbroken, but sort of like when I was like, oh, that's fake. But then
I felt betrayed.
that makes sense. Well, it's to a degree, but then as I got older, and I think I swung my arm once and went, that's tiring. Moving is hard. And then watching is like, so sure, you can look at wrestling. I think as an adult, you grow to appreciate the spectacle and what it truly is. But this movie goes, it's like they want to pretend Santa's still real.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, wrestling's real. And it's sort of like, probably shouldn't be telling kids that. Like, it's sort of betraying the child's imagination, or like the sucker punch they're going to get at age 13 when their friend goes to, that's all fake. So I don't know.
It's also weird too because this is one of the most fantastical versions of wrestling where they fight a mummy and a pirate and a clown. Like
Malibu.
The mummy, that was one of my favorite parts, where the mummy was spinning with the dog and then slammed him down super hard.
Oh yeah.
That was where I thought the movie was going to take a turn, because it was like, oh shit, just kill the
fucking
dog.
I guess we should clarify where the story then at this point is. Russell runs away from the pound, or he runs away from the pet store because a dog that I guess has been there longer than him goes, oh, you're going to the pound.
Yeah.
At which point I'm like, Russell, how the fuck did you not figure this out?
Yeah.
That if you don't get bought, you're going to the pound. Like, how he's like, pound?
Yeah.
Well, learn.
There was that dog was also like, the pound is for rejects who are wanted by no one
and never
that's
get
you.
a family, idiot.
Sort of like, well,
I was like, this bitch.
I mean, Jack Russell Terriers are kind of expensive.
That was a dog joke.
They're expensive dogs. I mean, they're purebreds, right? So, like, if you went to the pound, that's kind of a win-win. Like, dog might pee on you if you pick him up. Well, don't pick him up.
Well,
which I also have some questions about the dog's penis, but we'll get to that later.
The thing, too, is that the movie, again, in forgetting what happened prior, he runs away after someone at the pet store has already agreed to adopt him.
I forgot about that.
Right?
So the owner's like, or not the owner,
One of the employees is like, he's too cute. I understand he has this problem, but I'll take him. It's okay. I'll take the dog.
Yeah, and then the dog runs away.
And then the dog runs away.
Almost
because
gets hit by a car,
dog.
which actually, whoever's editing this, if you could recut it real quick to where the car just hits the dog. Because it's like, and then just cut the credits. Yeah. We would have had a 15-minute movie, maybe. So Russell runs away to the nearest alley, finds a place to live. It happens to be the Wrestling Institute. They're never really
which is next to an Italian restaurant where Like an Italian chef walks down and sets down.
Here's
all
a
these-
rib.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives him a little dog, he gives him a hot dog, a
Yeah.
Bavarian sausage. But then a British bulldog.
The British
up.
gangster bulldog.
I want to get into like children's movie voice acting because it feels like you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, you can.
He goes in and he does the. He's like, oh, this is my alley. It is. You're like, so it goes,
You're like, he's British?
because he's like a British bulldog.
Yeah.
But then at some point, Will Sasso's talking monkey, does the old shadow trick.
I love the shadow trick. I want to be somewhere where some maybe you guys are in an alley and a crook comes up to you, all right, and he goes, "Give me your wallets," and then I go, "Perfect opportunity. There's a light over here," and then I shine it on a wall, and I go, "Back off!" and my shadow's 20 feet tall,
Right,
and then the
I'm
guy,
only
and
looking at the
then the
shadow.
criminal goes. Turns and looks at me and then shoots me twice in the stomach. But yeah, shadows apparently work.
It's pretty great. So then Russell, I think it's in the middle of a match that's going on.
Yeah.
So the dog runs into the ring.
Better than that,
Oh,
they
what?
set up because this is what argument over the surfer guy. He refused to wrestle against a person who did appear to be an escaped convict.
Yeah,
Right.
he was.
Versus
It
one of
was
the center blocks, yeah.
they said I think Fred Willard had the line, "Oh, looks like he just got back from a stint at Penn State." And he goes, "Oh wait, I think that's State Penn."
Nice.
Yeah.
He got paid. He just did that for free.
Probably. I mean, they didn't have to write anything for him. Like, he'll
Yeah.
figure it out. It's
Well,
fine.
or that was another thing was him and his co-presenter. I couldn't tell if it was horribly written lines or if they were just like, just improv it.
Yeah.
It's a good, none of it has any bearing generally on the movie.
And
Probably not.
I think Fred
Remember when
Willard turns to the guy and he's like, "What did you used to do?" And the guy goes, "I was a chimney sweep."
He just brings out chimney sweep stuff. Well, it's great because that scene happens because they're supposed to be stalling because this match has gone off the rails,
yeah.
and the dad, who's now trying to make this profitable
like, go with it,
business,
yeah.
he's like, I got to figure something out. So he's arguing with the wrestlers backstage who's going to fight this really tough guy or whatever. So he tells those guys to stall. Then the kid tells those guys to go with whatever happens next, which was gonna be the
Just
dad
roll
was
with it.
gonna get up in a costume and wrestle himself because he didn't have any more wrestlers
Right.
left. But instead,
Yeah, no, Russell runs in. I did want to touch on the dad's outfit a little bit. Closeted homosexual father.
not so closeted, but yeah.
He's like, I'll figure it out. And he's like, honey, how'd you get that costume so fast? He's like, I just have it, okay? I had more questions about the setup of doing a live show because we've done it ourselves, and it's one of the hardest things to do to get just the most normal thing set up. I was very impressed that they're like, they got announcers. They got the original announcers. They got wrestlers.
Yeah.
They got the ring set up, which I guess you had some problem with the ropes. But
Yeah,
that's
there's 4 ropes. That's how boxing rings are made, not wrestling rings. Idiots.
But so I was actually pretty impressed. They never explained what the father did before inheriting the wrestling. He just knew what to do.
Yeah.
So-
He's like, "We got to get back to San Diego." That was
Yeah.
He's San Diegan. They don't do anything there.
They don't. He just
There's
chilled.
a lot of dog fur on this.
That's okay.
I don't know. Yeah, I do love kids movies because nothing existed until
Yes.
the family existed. Like it's
Yeah.
almost like Inception, where you're like, wait, when did this start? Like it's all of a sudden Cobb comes in and he goes, "Isn't that the funny thing about a dream? you're just in it."
Yeah.
He's like, "We gotta go back to San Diego. Is San Diego real? I don't know."
Yeah, yeah.
I want to explore those things. But yes, anyway, so the Jack Russell Terrier then gets into a fight. And they never really explain why the dog can wrestle or has like
He doesn't
power.
really wrestle
Well,
because
he
it's
can do
not
flips.
wrestling.
He
He
can
just
flip
Well,
some
no,
shit.
wait. He didn't even realize what he was doing that first time. So basically, what happened is this dog runs in,
Yeah.
chokes out a guy,
he
might
slipped,
kill him.
right? Doesn't he slip on a banana? The criminal
I mean,
slips on a banana.
Well, but before that, he flipped up
Yeah.
and got him around the neck, and the guy was going,
begging for help.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then he slipped on a banana, broke his neck, and
Yeah.
died.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Congratulations, Russell."
Yeah.
It's and then like someone's filming it on YouTube. Like, once again, re-edit this part with people screaming horrifically
Yeah.
as this dog with extra long arms is choking out a man. So it's great because now the family adopts Russell, and no questions asked.
Yeah, there's a dog.
Like
He
the dog will
wrestles.
now wrestle. He weighs 18 pounds, but that's fine.
He also
That's
becomes
good.
an internet sensation,
Right, million views overnight on YouTube.
thus immediately sending the business into profitability.
I love. I want to write kids movies. It's the easiest thing in the world.
You don't have to stop writing ever.
It's just sort of like you did good on YouTube. You're profitable. It's
Yeah.
great.
I think
they
like
turned this
in the
business
ne-
around in a week.
In the initial when all the news reporters come up, they're like 1 million hits in one night, and I think in an interview the next day they're like 2.3 million hits so far.
Yeah. Mhm.
I don't know. I thought that was just weird that they kept. I thought throughout the movie they were gonna keep saying how far the video goes.
Yeah. No, but but it's weird because again, this goes back to the whole thing where the movie then just abandons the premise. He could have been like, "We did it, we did it in one match," and then he could have sold it and moved back to San Diego.
Yeah.
There's no discussion. It's not like he says like, "Oh, we should do it," and his wife says, "But we love it here." No discussion. Now he's just fully bought into the business, and he buys a nice members only jacket that has Russell Maniac. Is what
Right.
ends up being the dog's name.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to call the movie WrestleMania.
And it was also because there was a historically famous wrestler that wrestled for the family's wrestling organ called El Maniac, who, as far as I could tell, was a white dude.
Okay.
Wait, and there was a line that they were like the El Maniac.
Yeah,
There was
the
a
El
line
Maniac.
like
Ill
yeah.
Maniac. It's not super important to the story. What is important, that at this point, the monkey,
Yes.
Hunk, I believe is his name,
Yes.
reveals how he can talk and how he can actually speak human and dog.
Yes.
And like 6 other animals
So he was part of an experiment?
Where they taught
in
him
the
English.
70s.
Okay.
Where they taught him English, and then he learned it, and they were like, "What?" So then,
It's confusing because he goes, it was like, yeah, I was cool about it. And then I spoke English, and then they lock him up in a cage. And he's
Well-
like, then I had to escape. Like, wait, why?
well, it's great too. It's great too
he did
because
his job correctly.
even before he's like, "Yeah, they were teaching me English," and then he's in an orange prison suit.
with the ball.
And
Yeah,
he
he
had
has
the
the
ball tied to him. He's like, and then I showed him that I could speak English, and they were like, "Oh my god!" And so I knew I had to escape. And then so he escapes.
Once again, I have more questions, but
I mean, I love this monkey's performance. I
Oh
don't know
my-
about you guys.
Oh, he's honestly, he just ruined the dog for me.
Yeah.
Because he was fantastic. This monkey.
He has like at least 6 different moves he can do. He can put his hands up
Everything.
like that. He can put his hand on his
Yep,
forehead.
yep.
He can walk back and forth like this.
I was just, Adam and I were watching side by side on separate screens, and I made Adam replay several times. There's a moment where the monkey puts his hands in his pockets
Gets
and
up on a
gets up on a skateboard and skates out there. And I was like, how does this work? They trained, it's not CG. They trained, either they Velcroed the monkey's hands to himself and then taught him to walk up, or so, like, it blew my mind.
I do have some big questions about the monkey's performance and safety concerns.
Yeah.
Only because I grew up watching things like Homeward Bound, and I never watched Milo and Otis, but I heard the story of how it was like a Chinese film crew or something just throwing cats and dogs off of a hill until they got the shot right. It's like they killed a lot of animals in this.
Really?
Yeah, that's sad and true.
That's sad, yes.
Because they're probably like, he's going to die anyway, because they're horrible. The film producers, not the race of people involved. Don't put words in my mouth, John.
Sounded like that's what you said, but
That's not
whatever.
what I said at all. I probably even got the race of the film crew wrong.
Okay, Adam.
Yeah, moving on. But I grew up in a time where it was just, they shot the dog, like with the footage, and then Michael J. Fox is in the sound booth being like, "Whoa, boy, I hope that's a bone," and like, I bought it. I'm like, that's fine. And then I think at some point they started putting peanut butter in the dog's mouth so that he would start moving and they would try to match it. But now we live in the computer age where they're just doing the dog's mouth with CGI since the Air Bud movies, the Air Buddies films. They started doing this. The monkey, though, has human-like features. And therefore, at some point I was like, that monkey's a great actor.
It's seamless. Honestly, commendations to the Air Bud production group for whatever technology they've come up with. It is seamless.
Yeah.
Planet of the Apes movies could learn a thing or two from these.
And they've somehow streamlined it because at least in some of the Air Buddies movies, there was a talking mouth animation in almost every shot of the movie. So like that takes so much time to do.
Absolutely.
Like they must have mastered it.
Well, my concern is because I tweeted a photo of the monkey where he looks like he's in utter pain. Shortly thereafter, he smiles, but it's this. I'll try to do it real quick. He looks away, he goes, which I think that's him remembering the shock he gets when he doesn't smile. And he forces it. And it just, I kept showing James, like, look at this. It's just, because I understand they're probably sitting there for hours, right? Like, okay, Rudger, or whatever his name is. do the thing. There's the trainer up to the side, and the monkey's doing.
In their defense, that's how they got the kid to act too.
It's probably not too far off.
But then conflict comes into play.
Conflict does come.
When the WUF, is that what it is?
Yes, the wolf.
The wolf.
We'll get to the wolf.
Which is John Ratzenberger.
Yes, who will also do anything. Who I love. Speaking of doing anything, this episode of Filmhouse is brought to you by Lisa, our fine sponsor. Let's get ready to sleep.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure we just broke a copyright thing. I don't know how laws work.
I'm not sure exactly.
That's boxing.
It's okay. So whether you're upgrading your home, your health, or your state of mind, there's one surprising item that belongs on your shopping list. Yep, that's a mattress. With over 10,000 five-star reviews, the Lisa mattress is in a league of its own when it comes to combining quality, innovation, and making a difference. Bones is usually here to attest to the Lisa difference. He's not. He's having a child, probably wrestling.
I can attest.
Oh yeah.
I ended up getting my mother a Lisa mattress for Christmas, and she's been using it, and she has said it's the best she's been sleeping in like years.
Wow.
Years, like maybe a decade. She's saying it's the best she's been sleeping on that mattress.
It sounds like you have a cool mom, and she has a pretty cool son.
She is, and she has a cool back because of the
ordering process.
The cooling, the 2-inch Avena foam top layer for cooling.
Interesting you say that, James, because Lisa's Universal Adaptive Feel includes 3 premium foam layers, one of which keeps you nice and cool, which is, seeing is believing. If you haven't tried one of these
that's cool
fancy new space-age mattresses, if you don't like it, you send it back,
There you go,
James.
I do the ad read sometimes
Let's talk
too.
about the ordering process. You can avoid all that awkward showroom, like you said, because your life's busy, and the last thing you want to do after a hectic day of wrestling, being the gentleman caller out there.
The cunning linguist.
Oh, you changed your name? That's cool. Anyway, you don't want to talk with a salesman. Screw all that garbage. The Lisa mattress easily ordered online and shipped for free to your door within days. It's compressed, comes in that box. Did your mom talk about the box?
She did. Because she didn't know what it was. It was a Christmas gift, but she didn't know what it was because it was not the size of a mattress.
It's like, son, something's here.
She thought it was a Velociraptor.
I haven't said I love you, but
it's ticking.
That's fine. But yeah, they have a rest assured policy where you get a 100-night trial, which allows you to try for over 3 months and decide if you want it or not. And if you don't, just send it back. No questions asked. That's how it works. They have an easy mattress pickup policy. It's fine. It's all good to go. So let's talk about the price. With anything in life, luxury does not come cheap, yet it is something we all desire, Mr. Linguist, especially when it comes to a good night's sleep. The Lisa mattress compares with brands that cost thousands more, but because they don't believe in all those unnecessary extras, Lisa's prices start at just $525. Also, you'll be getting an extra $100 off if you go to lisa.com/filmhouse. That's FILMHAUS and use promo code. You guys guess? Filmhouse.
Oh, Filmhouse.
This is the word I just said.
Oh, okay.
I spelled out with words, but I'll do it again
Letters.
for our young audience listeners. FILMHAUS, or those who clicked this video on accident thinking this was a real review.
It is a real review.
About a dog movie.
Compared to what other reviews of this movie?
Well, I mean, the title and the thumbnail are going to make people think that this is about Black Panther. So apologies, guys. We're not talking about Black Panther.
So yeah, thank you, Lisa, for sponsoring this episode. And check them out, please. When you buy, use that promo code that actually tells them that you listen to us and that we put you there, and that actually has them come back and say, hey, we want to buy more ad space with you. So, okay. Let's make it happen. Let's talk about Russell Madness and how it all goes downhill for the Ferreros.
Yep.
So John Rathensberger.
Nailed it.
What's his
Ratzenberger.
What's his character's name in it? I forget.
Seedy bad guy.
Seedy bad guy. He offers
with gray streaks in his black.
He's pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
I hope I look half
He
as
kind
cool
of looked
as
like
that.
Freakazoid.
Yeah. And I have to say, he was not as evil as I was assuming a villain would be. He's basically an average businessman.
Yeah.
Who's very lonely and kind of clings to the father.
Yeah.
I think he's just looking for like a son figure.
Yeah.
Generally, he's pretty reasonable throughout the film.
It's pretty straight, but he basically says, I'll give you an offer you can't refuse. He goes, I refuse. He goes, okay.
Yeah.
Sounds
He goes,
good.
Deal. Good luck.
But
Best of luck
then,
to you.
as things do, a series of unfortunate events unfold, and the Ferreros realize, crap, building's not up to code. Someone called in the health inspector, which honestly, if your family's living there, probably
Yeah, it was probably for the best.
I don't think
I
it was.
know.
I think it was once again. I think it was the bad guy saying like, "This family's in danger. This building is unsafe.
needed help.
They
Yeah.
need help. Let's have it." But she goes, "It's going to cost $64,000 to get this place up to code later." So he's like, "Well, crap. Now I got to sell the business. I got to figure it out." So what's the deal? He makes a deal
He
with
makes
the UHF.
a deal with them. The contract only specifies that Ratzenberger gets 51%, but they don't specify what it is, and the contract is literally as long as this.
It's about an ad read.
And it's they get to keep the building,
Yeah.
but they wrestle in the WUF.
They basically wrap one up into the other. So
Right.
the Ferrero Wrestling Organization
partnership.
is part of the WUF, and the Ferrero building is a location because they'd go on tour.
That's right.
Which is that what the WWF did in the United States back whenever?
Yeah, they just bought up other smaller regional and
that's
stuff.
what WCW was.
Well, yeah, I mean, they fought for a while, but then at a certain point, WCW was basically under, and then WWF bought them.
What was NWO?
NWO was a gimmick thing that happened
Within the
inside
WCW.
WCW.
I know that.
It
that
wasn't
means-
real?
No, I mean, yes, it was real.
I mean, it was one of my favorite wrestling video games of all time.
Yeah.
WCW. Good Wolfpack. You know,
Yeah.
watch out. So, I mean, kind of a good deal. Ends up working out fine for the father because he's like, I get to travel.
He pays for the whole building to be repaired,
Yeah,
too.
he's like, I bring my monkey with me, talking monkey, who he's still sort of like whispering to. He's like, enough with the monkey business, and they're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
who are you talking? You talking to me about being a monkey?
Well, yeah,
Like,
it was every
It's
time he
inconsistent.
spoke to the monkey, the bad guy would go, like, think that he was talking to him and be like, "Oh, you're busting my balls."
Which is inconsistent because they showed a whole sequence at the beginning that people can hear and speak to the monkey.
Yeah.
So, like, you should know he's addressing the talking monkey, but they just moved on. Again, the writer he just kept writing, no stopping him.
Don't look back.
and we're sort of like still sort of previewing the movie, like kind of playing in the background. I still just notice these shots of the monkey looking like he's in utter pain.
That's just how monkeys look.
Until they're smiling, which is also probably the pain face.
Yeah.
Great outfits on the monkey.
Oh, yeah.
Well
Oh,
dressed
my
monkey.
The
gosh.
whole movie. Well,
Like you said, he stole the show.
yeah.
I hope the monkey's happy.
He's not.
There's a fun drinking game you can play with Russell Madness. Every time the monkey makes a banana pun, kill yourself.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
Just everything's, that's bananas.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that for a banana.
Yeah.
Banana. We get it. You're a fucking monkey. So the problem, though, and once again, to James's point, the bad guy isn't much of a bad guy in this film.
No.
He sort of plays the long con, and he takes the father out on the road. Where he's like, we're going to be wrestling everywhere. Let's
Yeah.
do this. And sort of just wears him down little by little.
Yeah.
Because there's a good moment where the family goes, we see it at my birthday, right, Dad? And Easter and our anniversary. You're like, what a fucking week this family's having.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ. And he's like, wouldn't miss it for the world. I love all of you.
Yeah.
And then it cut to
it-
him on Skype.
It did a funny montage.
Yeah, it hard cuts or crossfade montages to him at his birthday cake looking sad with a cardboard cutout of the dad and the dog and the monkey.
Yeah.
Like,
So
it's
you're
like-
actually wrong there. The kid's not sad.
Oh no!
Everyone's
That was
happy.
the montage because
Yeah.
it doesn't come until after they just they're like, I'm going to go on the road. And they're like, okay, have fun. And then it goes to a montage of all the wins, Russell getting more and more popular, and then the family living without a father. But it's still the same jovial montage.
Well, yeah, I love the idea of the mom like going into Photoshop Express and cutting out a photo of the dad and then going to FedEx and printing it out. And being like, look, your dad's here.
This isn't sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your dog.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was actually kind of surprising the family took it real well. Like
At first, it seemed like.
I mean, actually, so I think in your mind, you're like, layers of progression should be, it's okay, Dad's not here.
Yeah.
Next one, it's they're doing Easter and like, your dad's on the iPad. They're, Dad, oh my God, we're so happy. It's like, no, they should be upset at him now. Like this is called escalation.
Yeah.
Once again, the writer's like, fuck it.
Well, because they needed to do the fun montage. It was the point in the movie for the fun montage. And so that was what this is. But it was also the point in the movie where they needed to explain that the family didn't have a father. So everything is fun. We're looking at the monkey. The monkey also, too, is his coach, which means he's like in his corner. It's unclear how the wrestling world works.
There's an amazing shot during the montage where the dog is just sitting on a stool and the monkey's just standing there smiling
with the towel over his shoulder.
A little monkey-sized towel.
Yeah.
No action.
No.
The dog is simply sitting on a stool.
Yeah.
The monkey smiling. Probably the guy's got the baton off to the side. Going,
well, the monkey and the dog probably had some run-ins during the filming. So the monkey's just thinking like, I hope this dog doesn't try and go for my throat.
I think they shot it all split screen because that monkey would have killed that dog.
They did the same thing with Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shots where the monkey is just straight up.
He's great.
I know monkeys hunch a little. He's just flat, which I'm just wondering how many volts.
Well, they tied him to a pole.
It's like the same monkey from the fucking Nine Inch
You
Nails video.
think it's just a green pole up his back? He's trying to lean.
But it's just during this montage. It's just a still shot. Oh God. Anyway.
But yeah, so then, so the dad comes back.
Yes.
Right?
Exhausted.
And now at this point, the family is upset with him. And they're like, you missed a bunch of stuff, by the way.
But still, like, kind of with smiles. Like, it's like a Mormon family. They're just like, they just won't hate. They're going to be so nice.
Well, it's also great. Very much Mormon is my favorite part is that he's like, it's okay. I'm home now. Let's spend some time together. And then Ratzenberger goes, we got a signing. And he's like, gotta go.
He goes, come.
And so the guy immediately, he's like, sorry, I gotta go. And he gets in the car and then he gets a text from his wife, which is the most passive-aggressive bullshit. She sends him a text that says, happy anniversary, heart, heart, heart. Yeah. And he just goes, he looks out the window at her and he goes, fuck, I'm fucked.
And there's a really cool part where he goes, before he gets in the car, he goes, oh, by the way, ditch the monkey. It's like, didn't we just fly around half the country with this monkey? And now he's like, and the monkey's like, I'm being cut out, I am.
Yeah. This is bananas.
But we've also acknowledged in this world that the monkey's trying to keep it on the DL by hiding on the man's shoulder the whole time.
Yeah. It's baffling.
It's just
but not boring.
Which I like. I think it's this shot where you can tell the whole family got training with the monkey. Because watch the mom pick up the monkey.
Oh yeah. Grab him by the hand. Let the monkey control. Yeah. Do not tell the monkey what to do.
Don't make eye contact with the monkey.
Keep your eyes away from the monkey.
Do not remove the pole from his back.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the father comes back as, honey, the signing was nuts. Bananas.
Yeah.
The monkey's like, huh? But so yeah, we come to the dinner scene where it's like she set up the anniversary dinner in the fucking wrestling ring.
Yeah.
It's like
they only had one set. They used it well.
They took it as far as they possibly could. And so that's the straw that breaks the camel's back. Goes, that's enough.
Yeah.
Not my family.
Yeah.
Not. I don't know what his big problem was, and so as a gift he gives his wife a sewing machine.
Yeah. So basically he oh no, that's not even what does it. He's just like, this sucks, but that's not what causes him to take action.
Was it just because his kids fell asleep?
No,
Oh, no, you're
because
right.
then he's like, all right, back to business.
Yeah.
And then they go and they have their big main event fight with the Hammer.
Yeah, he's just kind of okay
Oh,
with it.
yeah.
Right?
Oh, and the Hammer's played by your friend.
John Hennigan, Johnny Mundo and
Yeah.
stuff from, I've worked with him several
Yeah.
times in the past.
He kind of reminds me of a fully grown little Hercules.
Yeah,
At least
very
in this.
similar.
Oh, great looking man.
He's basically in every single movie or television show about wrestling.
I will say this: when you actually get a professional wrestler to be in your movie, good call. Especially because they seem to be down for anything.
Yeah.
They play it to like the highest caliber they possibly can, and they get that it's a joke.
There's also a fun aspect of this where I noticed that in the movie, the Hammer character that he plays comes out in a robe.
Yeah.
And that's a robe that was in his closet when I went to his house to meet him, which means
So-
he had to provide his own costuming.
Or they let him keep it.
No. This
no.
this was his own thing. I'm pretty sure he showed up on set and said, "I have these things," and like that's way better than what we got.
Yeah.
Use it.
I also love that they're in the budget. They had a few original songs written.
Yes.
Which was one of them was his theme song. Which was like hammer down.
Well, it's an AC/DC
Yeah.
knockout.
Yeah.
It's that
Yeah.
whatever song.
Like Thunderstruck or whatever.
But it's like
Yeah.
hammer struck. But it's like, what is it?
But then it changes into a different song and describes things that don't have anything to do with hammering. They're like, when you're hanging on the beach, hammer down.
The other one was WrestleManiac or Wrestle Madness, which was it started right when they started training before they'd come up with his name and his identity.
Yeah.
But it was. I loved how literal they both were because it was like he's like I'm Hammer Time and the song's like Hammer Time.
Yeah.
And this one was just the song was just Wrestle Madness,
Very
Wrestle
good.
Madness.
Good songs though.
So we're getting to the end of the movie.
No, we're not. We're not even close. We haven't even touched
Fuck
Act
me.
3.
Well, we're getting to the end of the podcast.
This is so they have there's a main
gotta-
event. It's a championship match. So the plan for the father was that when the dog wins the title, he's going to retire, which is
Yeah.
lame, by the way. But he was going to do that. He's like, that's it. We're out. We're cutting out. So we'll have the main event match. They're going to do it. And this is where the movie again continues to forget what it is. Ratzenberger goes to the Hammer, who is the current champion, and then says, "I'll pay you to lose."
As they do in wrestling.
As they do in wrestling, and Hammer ultimately agrees, but then decides in the middle of the match, no way.
Yeah.
And
So
then
he says no, then yes, and then no.
he says no.
I was
then yes.
confused by it because
Yeah.
I'm like, I had to rewind it and go,
Yeah.
wait, hold on a sec. Because then the Hammer wins by cheating.
Which Ratzenberger is upset by.
Exactly. And I'm like, yeah, I'm upset as a viewer because he told you to take a fall.
Yeah.
And he was even like, my pride's not worth any price. He goes, how about this check? He goes, hey, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'll
Well,
take the dive.
He's like, I'm not gonna go out there and lose to a dog. And he's like, let's just do a rematch and then I'll lose.
But then it's this weird moment where everyone kind of works on one dimension.
Yeah. It's
Where he goes-
whatever they feel in that 60-second period.
Because he's like, what? Hammer, you threw the match. And he's like, right, but imagine the next one, it's going to sell even more. And he goes, rematch. He goes, rematch, more money.
Yeah.
You're a genius.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you should have discussed that beforehand. I don't know.
Also, I don't know if you noticed, but he cheats to win the match by hiding a dog whistle in his elbow pad or
Right.
whatever, and then he blows it, and then the dog just lays over like a good boy, and then he can pin him. Except my favorite part is that it was almost as though like no one knew what was going on.
Yeah, he was like standing there going.
And the dad's like, what's happening? Something's wrong with Russell. What's going on? And then you can literally even have audio in the background of someone in the crowd going, cheater! Like everyone sees it except for the dad. He's like, what's happening? So he loses the match, and then
Russell loses. Yeah.
Russell loses, but the dad is so upset about.
Well, he overhears the conversation.
Yeah, he
What
finds out
happened?
that there was cheating in the wrestling match.
Yeah, well, he finds out that apparently they've been paying all the wrestlers to go down.
Right.
Russell's actually not that good, or is he?
Yeah.
We don't know because all those guys have been paid off. And so the father's just like, my life is a lie.
You've destroyed the dignity of wrestling.
And then it's a quick shot to him in a bathtub with his wrist slit.
And then the movie ends.
It just says Russell Maniac.
Written in blood.
He's just standing there
Straight, just upright.
with a towel. Oh, my giant abs hurt.
But yeah,
So do mine.
so then he goes, well, I'm not going to be. You have a seedy wrestling business, not a real wrestling business, and I refuse to be a part of it. And the guy goes, well, too bad you signed this contract, and this really small part of the contract says that we own Russell.
Yeah.
And
Doesn't
so
he hand him a magnifying glass?
Yeah.
He goes, turns out your father's not very good at reading. And Dad's like, what the fuck? No, I read the whole thing.
Yeah.
I read it in a whole 5 minutes. I was in and out in no time.
which is great because again, it's like this.
So, but they do the trope, which I don't know how far that goes back to. I think it's as old as when someone cuts a slice of cake and then takes the whole cake.
Yeah.
And it says like in really tiny font, which I'm pretty sure is illegal. But once again, it's a kid's movie, so let's
The
not.
lawyer that was there the whole time said it was okay.
And he's like, hey, it's
Yeah.
good. And the family's like, well,
They're
we
like,
lost.
this is so unfortunate. We lost our dog, and then then the monkey has to help the kid feel better.
Yep.
But now, bring it all back around.
Yeah.
That guy who worked in the pet shop had filed the paperwork to adopt Russell.
Yeah.
Thusly, the family was illegal in including him in the contract in the first place and didn't own him.
Yeah, I mean, they do kind of come to the bad guy, Rathburger, and can't say names right.
Yeah.
And he's sort of like, shit, we should have done our homework on this.
Yeah.
Lawyer, you're fired.
Yeah. He's like, well, what can you do? I guess you got your dog back.
He's pretty much like, law's law.
Yeah.
Hey.
But
Good on ya.
he still owned the building, if I recall. So he still had the
Yes.
building, and also the monkey breaks in to break Russell out, but it's a
Right.
moot point because as soon as they get out, it's the guy with the contract. It's all none of it matters.
Yeah.
But there's a break in, and then they say the
Well-
only way we'll do it.
Well, there's a fantastic scene before this where we get to go back to the great shadow
Oh,
joke
yeah.
that we had from earlier. The security guard's like, who's there? And then it's the monkey holding a banana next to a giant spotlight. And he's like, reach for the star. And he goes, okay. And he lets a child tie him up.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yes.
They come to terms and they say, all right, well, how about this? If Russell beats the Hammer in a tag team match, you get the dog, you get the building, you get everything.
Yep.
But if he loses, I get to keep him because at this point he doesn't have ownership over the dog.
Right.
So it's an all or nothing tag team match for the end. But they don't have a tag team partner.
Right. So what are they going to do? Who do they go to?
A trained wrestler?
Negative. A child.
They send in a child.
Yeah.
Which is also
who's-
good because I like how they randomly bring in this yodeler to be his tag team
Was it
partner.
the German Mountain?
Yeah, the mountain he was the first guy that the dad called to join the wrestling club, but found out he'd been blacklisted.
Oh,
Because he was
movie
too
detail.
edgy.
But yeah, so it's a tag team match.
Yeah.
The Hammer brings in the German Mountain, who's also a Swedish yodeler.
Sure.
Swiss yodeler.
Yeah.
Or forget, I think yodeling was founded in Switzerland in like 1244. I think that's what
take your word
that's what
for
I
it.
found out.
Yep.
Yeah. But once again, Hammer comes out and Russell comes out and like, but who's his tag team partner? Why, an 11-year-old child it is.
And the audience is like, this is the best $15 we've ever spent.
Well, isn't the family, they're like, no, you can't do this. And the monkey goes, don't worry, I trained him. He's doing great. And they're like, all right, let's trust this monkey and this child.
Hard cut to the giant German man grabbing the child and slamming him down.
It's an amazing part because all we've seen in the movie so far is that the dog is the only one who can wrestle.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, he can at least choke people out like a motherfucker. But then they're like, all right, kid, you're up first.
Yeah.
You're going up against the 300-pound, 6'3" man.
He
Go
does
for it.
okay, but he doesn't do good enough.
Yeah, he pokes his eyes, and then the adult thinks it's a good idea to body slam a child behind him.
When
Which,
the cops climb up, cuff him, and take him out.
Yeah.
it's,
They slam him down. They actually beat up on the kid. And then it gets to the point where it's Russell and the Hammer in the ring. And the Hammer tries to cheat again. But it doesn't. Why doesn't it work?
well, so what happens is it actually does work as far as we, the audience, thinks it does. And Russell falls over and they're like, we forgot he did the whistle thing. Dang it. So Russell's playing dead, or he's down. And the Hammer goes for like the greatest move of all time.
Aerial move.
He's going up. He goes up on what, the third rope? Probably the second rope.
Well, the fourth rope.
It's the fourth rope in their dumb arena.
Right before he jumps, though, Russell winks at child actor number 4, and he. So the Hammer does. What would you even call that move? It's like an Olympic spin.
It's
of some
it's
sort.
a moonsault with a half twist.
Right. his goal was to land on Russell, but at the last moment, Russell moves out of the way. And the
classic
hammer,
wrestling maneuver.
Yeah, and then the hammer just like is probably brain dead.
Yeah,
we'll never walk again.
Russell wouldn't have broken his fall. He still would have
No, that's wrestling though.
Oh, right. Oh,
wrestlers often jump off the top rope and then pin them. As long as there's another wrestler between you and the mat, you take no damage.
Okay.
But we have established, yes, it's a 25-pound dog. He goes for it. The hammer looks at it. But my biggest fucking problem in this whole movie at this point, once Russell he achieves victory, and this happens early in the film, but it really bothered me the second time, he stands up and we see no penis.
Really? No penis? I thought they had a whole cutout. My favorite part was that they cut out his crotch.
Oh wait, you do see penis.
Yeah, see, they like literally had a costume that they could have concealed.
No, that was
his
his
dick.
tail. That was a curly, unless he has like a corkscrew penis.
I think they have a cutout for his cock.
I'm almost it was hard.
Look, that's the penis. Yeah. That's
they'd have to, right?
Yeah.
So he didn't piss in the suit.
I was hoping that the big Papa Disney was like, no dog penis in mine. He was like, dogs have penises. Let kids see dog penis. It's fine.
They did.
I think they did.
Yeah.
I think I was watching it on a bigger TV, so it's just blurry. And I was like, they censored that dog's dick. They did.
Well, the weird part is the monkey then comes out and drops his pants and starts
yeah, it is weird. He shits and starts throwing it into the crowd.
Taser's just standing off to the side.
So they win. They beat the
bad guy.
Bad
They get to own they don't. So the family, I guess, at this point learns that they don't need to sell the arena. They just no,
they don't. I mean, it didn't matter. They gave up on that. That premise was immediately
no. The resolution of the film is Russell wins. Everything we have established in the earlier part of the film, like, I can't wait to get back to San Diego. We're gonna sell this place. It's just sort of like, that is the end.
Well, that was the father's false truth. Yeah. You see, to get in screenwriting terms, that was this character's false truth, and the truth he thought to be true, but it's not what he actually wanted.
The father just puts on his costume.
It wasn't even discussed that he would be wrestling. Yeah. If I recall, he just shows up in it, and he's like, "I'm ready to fuck a dude."
Yeah. Well, we do fast forward to the happiest of all endings. The son now grows up. Yeah. His father's proud of him. The monkey's still alive somehow.
The monkey was born in the 70s, right?
Yeah, and the dog is still alive too.
Dog's still there. They're still a wrestling tag team.
Yeah.
Rena hasn't changed at all. The mother's dead. She died of cancer. The mother, or the daughter, was kidnapped by her high school boyfriend.
Also, 90% of the audience is still the same. They've been attending this show for the last 15 years.
It's been a lot of like you said. It's not a bad movie.
I mean, it does. I would sit down and show a child this movie.
Yeah.
Because it's not offensive. It doesn't. It's just what doesn't care. It just keeps
going.
I
would definitely explain though that bribery happens in boxing and not wrestling, and so that they should not concern themselves with that issue. With that, enjoy the movie.
And they go, "What's bribery?"
But I will say it was really fun watching a child's movie and picking apart the realism of what could and could not happen in a world with talking monkeys and wrestling dogs. So I do want to thank you guys.
Well, thank you
for being on the podcast,
thank
James.
You.
I really value your wrestling expertise, and whatever you do, John.
I'm not sure.
That's pretty cool too. So thank you guys for being on the show. Thank you everyone for watching and or listening. Telling a friend, that's always a blast. Thank you, Lisa Mattress, for sponsoring this episode. And you know what? Thank you, Air Buddies Entertainment, for creating entertainment.
They're getting better.
Is that what it's called? Airbud.
I think it's Airbud Productions.
Airbud Pictures. One of those.
I imagine it's just a small little office inside Disney headquarters, and they're like, they get to do whatever the fuck they want.
That's the thing. In the credits, there were only 2 people billed for Airbud Entertainment, and everyone else, I'm pretty sure, was just hired for the picture. And there's just a guy who's in development and the guy who owns Airbud Entertainment.
I mean, that sounds about right.
What a sweet fucking gig.
Yeah, serious.
Bang chicks, do cocaine, and make dog movies.
He's got a little portrait of the original Airbud. Like, thanks, buddy. He's still alive. No, he died.
No, he died after the first movie.
Yeah, he's dead.
Fuck, what a downer.
He wasn't even the same dog in Airbud 2.
Well, good thing to end on a high note. See you next week, kids.
This would have been better sober.
No, absolutely not.
God, just checking.
Forget it.
And with all that, I just want to say thank you, everyone, for putting up with this. As a oh, dear God! Oh, shit! Jesus! It's over!